Hey guys, thanks for joining me again on this weekend to take on the final conflict, Omen 3. Written in 1980 and adapted to film in 81. And here is some interesting food for thought. The first Omen was written in 1976. Damien Omen 2 was written in 78. And the final conflict, Omen 3, in 1980. And without any specific dates or timelines set forth in any of these books, it's like this little Antichrist grows like a weed. In the span of 4 years, he has reached adulthood, taken over the family business, and is entering into politics. What is also interesting is how the 8th season of American Horror Story, which was also about the Antichrist, seems to have taken that premise and ran with it, even taking a second to mention this book and movie. Anyway, so back to the final conflict. The book and movie have very few differences, most of them being within the special effects and the timing of certain events. The moment the astronomers find those stars that have the date of the second coming written in them is how the book opens. That scene comes in a little later in the movie. Also, the moment after the first assassination attempt on Damien, when he's holding one of the sacred daggers. In the book, the effects that his holding the dagger has on his hand is described as something similar to hypothermia. The horrible sequence of events after Damien orders his disciples to kill baby boys born on the day of the Nazarene birth is watered down in the movie just enough that we get the gist of it. It's truly horrible in the book, very disturbing. When Damien's right-hand man, Harvey Dean, finally comes to his senses and is about to pack up his family and leave, his wife's hallucination is very different. I don't know what this is in the movie, but in the book, what she hallucinated was her baby aged up rapidly, like he had a severe case of progeria. And while we are spared what she did in the movie, it is detailed in the book that after she conked out her husband and blinded him with a hot iron, she went and tended to her baby that she took out in the same way. And right now I'm wondering why none of the Omen movies seem to have a seat on the disturbing movie iceberg. I also finished the single season of the Damien miniseries, and have come to the conclusion that whoever wrote this either never read any of the books, or, as they say in Mystery Science Theater 3000, they just didn't care. In this miniseries, Damien is a 30-year-old photojournalist with no memory of his childhood, and it all comes back to him from the first story only, when mysterious people plant themselves in his life and plant vague ideas of his importance in his head, while people close to him die freaky deaths all around him. And the idea of him being the Antichrist drives him to see a shrink who is also secretly in on cultivating Damien's rise to power. And it's at this very end of the season that he finally ditches the idea of being a good citizen and takes up the mantle of his dark heritage. Also, one thing I do not recall seeing in this book is the very final frame, very end scene of the movie, when after Damien expires, after Kate takes him out, there is an image of Jesus Christ. He has risen. Nothing on this last page tells me that that image is there. This final chapter just ends with the last chapter of Revelations. And that is the end of the final conflict and Damien Thorn. Before we wrap up this video, I want to take a minute to check off a milestone. Today is my 2-year channelversary, and since last year, subscribership has more than doubled, from 21 to 57 and counting, and I appreciate every last subscriber and casual viewer. You have no idea how much. I have also started creating thumbnails for my videos. The studio has upgraded, and in the near future I plan on including some guests on the show. From here on, the only way to go is up. So, as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so my small channel can keep growing. And click notifications so you never miss a thing. And I will see you back next week for Needful Things.